Hello, folks. This is me, the Trash Man here. Today we are doing another part of Papa Trashy's Fun Time podcast, and today we got a special guest, Memz. Y'all know him, y'all love him. Say hi, Memz.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, we called you for a special. I called you here, for I need your expert opinion on something you're very passionate about. Ark Survival Evolved, but not evolved. It's ascended. What is your
Yeah.
opinions, eh?
Um, well, it really depends. I would definitely say that I'm not, I wouldn't say expert, but I have been playing the game for quite a while. I wasn't invited to, the beta or anything, and I currently am not buying the game, and I will explain why for that. Um, but just if people are interested, I've been playing the game since, around the release of Extinction, so I think that's around 2017 to 2018.
Okay,
I've been playing it basically nonstop. I've got thousands of hours in it. I've been playing it for a while.
yeah. What's your
And
what,
oh,
what
sorry.
what's your opinion on I know you have strong opinions on the state of Ark right now. Currently
Yeah.
survival evolved.
That's actually a good place to start. I do kind of have to explain why I played the game a lot. I think it's a really neat idea. Like it was a good game. I cannot deny that. It was really buggy and oh god, was it buggy. But it was a good game and I cannot deny that.
Hmm.
Um, there was some issues. I kind of hate this part because I don't really like bashing on developers for stuff. And here's especially because it's not the developer's fault for almost everything wrong. If you actually look into it, it's often the parent company of Snail Games.
Yeah.
There's a few examples of that, but the major one recently has been with the T tribe,
Oh yeah,
where
yeah.
I'm assuming most people would have heard about this because it was quite a big deal. But there's some great videos online about it. But in summary, Snail Games leveraged the fact that they own Wildcard, the developers of Ark, to an advantage in a very competitive PvP server where they ended up banning some of the most important players of their game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you told me about that one a couple times. Yeah. Yeah, what is it? If their tribe gets attacked, they get like big baby rage mad and just start banning people.
Yeah, so there was two attacks. There was the first time when they just attacked them. They were a pretty small tribe, but they had some suspiciously good items for
Mm.
that stage of progression they were at.
Yeah.
Um, and their specific tribe has been caught cheating several times on Chinese servers. I think
Gotcha.
they was. And now that they have all this possibly cheated and stuff, they attacked them.
Mm.
They won the first fight. They won several fights actually, but every time they ended up killing their main dinosaurs, they would roll back the server
Oh,
about
gotcha.
right before the fight would start because Ark has things called a rollback, which just rolls back the server however
Yeah, yeah.
long it should be. It's often just to prevent if a major bug happens on a server, they roll it back,
Mm.
prevent it. But they did it so that they could go back before the fight to start it again. They were pretty confident that one of the people on their team was using cheats, and by the end of it, they ended up banning one of their players. I don't remember their name. And I think they ended up coming up on an agreement for if they unban their tribe member, they would leave. The tribe member was accused of cheating, but the person very clearly showed that he was not.
Oh.
Uh, don't take everything I say as objective fact, by the way. Do your own research, definitely. I am never 100%.
Yeah.
This is a kind of hard story to grasp because a lot of it can be hidden behind closed doors.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's pretty well known that it was T in that situation.
Okay.
Uh, and it did culminate into a second fight where they only attacked with dinosaurs to prove that they were not cheating, because it's basically impossible to cheat on a dinosaur. Uh, in general, they won the fight and they ended up perma banning, or not permanent banning, but globally banning everyone on that tribe. which included some of the biggest names in that game.
That
So
is
that ended pretty
scummy.
poorly for them. The
Yeah,
thing is, though, is since Snail Games owns Wildcard, Wildcard's the one doing the banning and the rollbacks of the servers.
yeah.
Or, sorry, yeah, Wildcard's the one doing the banning, but they're only doing it because Snail Games has a lot of legal control over them because they're actually breaching their like licensing agreements several times just to make their game better.
Oh,
Um, I kind of hate that about parent companies, but I'd like, is it technically in the wrong? And do I think you should go against legal codes and stuff? No, but I mean they
yeah.
were just trying to make their game good.
Yeah, I know you sometimes talked about a lot of bugs in the original Evolved. We're gonna get, by the way, people, we're gonna get to Ascended in its state
Yeah,
pretty soon. So
it's
yeah, you had
supposed
like stuff like
to.
blue screens, right?
Oh yes, oh yeah. The blue screens were they were iffy. I'm pretty sure I'm relatively confident it was the game, but I did have one, I think two mods installed at the time, but my friend also had them and he has a much lower end hardware than me and he had a much less issues, so I think it was just the game not working with me.
Mm.
Um for anyone who doesn't know, you can find me on YouTube, just memz.
Yeah.
I'm very small right now, so I will not be the first channel, but
Yeah, yeah. Whew.
I was gonna do one about why I disliked Ark and was really hating the way the game's progressing. I ended up going back on the decision, and now I'm gonna make one about why I like it. So if you're interested in the bugs I have listed there, that is definitely one I would look for
Oh yeah, you were
because
working on that for quite a while. I remember. I remember you were. I think you were. Shoot, how many pages was the script again?
script ended up being about a total of 13 pages, and I would estimate the full video would be about 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I would love to have done it, but the biggest thing is that like it's really the issue of like who's to fault because it's again another thing with Ark and Snail Games. Here's where stuff gets iffy with me. Do not take anything here as fact. I am not sure about any of this because I keep getting mixed statements myself. I've heard some people saying like I personally think Ark Survival Ascended's a pretty bad business idea, but that's for later. But it's really hard to like definitively tell right now what's Snail Games and what's Wildcard
Yeah.
because like Snail Games has always been operating behind very closed doors. They have since their start. They very rarely are public about anything. I'm impressed they were even on one of their Arc servers considering how private they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided to go against the video, so I'm now going to make one about why I like Ark. I'm still going to do stuff about my dislikement of Ark Survival Ascended, and especially Ark 2. I have very major flaws with that game. Uh, but like, I do just have to say that like the Ark games, especially Ark 1, mostly just Ark 1 really. Though that game is really special to me. I've been playing it for so long, and
Yeah.
I met some of my greatest friends in it, and it's actually this is a decent segue into Ark Survival Ascended. If you want to start moving on to there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've
Okay,
heard
so to
some.
start. Oh, yep.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, I've heard very mixed things about the game so far in terms of performance and also bugs.
Bugs. I have not looked too far into it. This is again another spot where I would like to say do your own research because I'm pretty sure the game's still like I haven't bought the game myself. Can you even buy it yet? I kind of
Yeah,
forget.
you
I have been
can.
so
It's
busy recently.
$40 right now.
Jesus Christ, that's 60 up here. But
Yep.
yeah, I have been looking at footage and stuff though, and all I have to say is they really did not do a lot. It looks like they just went to their Blender thing, turned up the quality slider a little bit, and added a Minecraft shader onto it and called it a day. Now,
Yeah.
the biggest issue is with performance on that because that's like looking at the game itself, it's not a major change. Like the graphics are, don't get me wrong, they're better, but it's nothing like out of this world. It's pretty tame. Like it looks like a AAA game from like, 2017, 18. Like
Yeah.
it's not there's nothing impressive. It's not something that would make your jaw drop by looking at the grass.
Yeah.
And really, like, the issue is just, like, what requires to run it. Like, you need at minimum, I think the minimum is number one, it has to be on an SSD, which already causes a lot of issues for people because SSDs are still not a new thing, like, but like a commonly used new thing. It's not something a lot of people have because SSDs are a lot more expensive than external hard drives. And while, like, I kind of understand having, like, SSD, especially for a game like that, I think it's a 1080, an RTX 1080 that's required for Ark Survival Ascended, which
Mhm.
isn't the highest of requirements, but a lot of, especially like PC gamers, still just get lower quality graphics cards because they don't really care about having really high-end graphics. And like I said, it's not like the graphics are crazy on that game. It's nothing interesting. I have heard the bugs are really bad, but that's for me right now, no comment on that because I haven't played the game.
Yeah.
But I have seen a lot, and also the menu looks ugly. I have to say, the menu looks ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to my uncle about it. I was like, "Hey, this game's got pretty it's definitely from what I've heard pretty
Bad.
underwhelmed." Yeah, yeah, and my uncle's like, "No." Like I told him I've from what I've heard there's a lot of crashing. He's like, "No, no, I've been watching it on Twitch. It's just an improved version of art." I don't know. I don't get like the thing is Twitch streamers probably most likely big Twitch streamers most likely have like supercomputers that can run that crap.
Oh yeah.
So they
The
get
biggest
special
thing.
privilege.
Yeah. That's actually a decent thing. Is really where the community comes into all of this because, like, the Ark community, I guess depending on where you are, I'm personally a big PVE player. Me and my tribe would just mess around in PVE. Yeah, we never really played much PvP or really ever. We did more PvP on each other than other people.
Hmm.
Uh, but it was just like it was actually a really nice community, especially on PvE. PvP is a lot more unfamiliar to me. I've played it like I'd say I've put like I don't know. I haven't really put any hours into it. I'd have to say at tops like 20 hours into PvP.
Yeah.
Ark's one game where if you want PvP, it's gonna be really hard to start out, especially because like it's like Rust. I'm sitting there hitting a rock against a tree, and for some reason you feel the need to send your full army at me. Uh, kind of like that. I personally never played a lot of PvP though, but on PvE it is a very nice community. Uh, I shouldn't have said the word community so much there, but oh well, it's in there now.
Yeah.
But I feel like I personally like in my script about why I did not like Ark at the time. I was specifically talking about like I felt like it was kind of a betrayal of their community, especially since now looking at the game, it is nothing new like at all. It's like it literally looks like they added a fan mod shader pack and called it a day,
Mm.
and also slapped in their $40
Yeah.
code on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. They had a I think they had shoot. I don't know. I think in general this just kind of speaks more to how kind of a big gaming company kind of the experience of that is nowadays. Because what is it? They'll like do this where it's like they'll release it to where it's near nigh unplayable right now, and
Mm-hmm.
then and then pledge to fix it months later.
That's actually my current issue right now is the false promises from Ark. Like they promised a lot of well, I wouldn't say promise, but they talked a lot about like bug fixes and stuff on the original game, and we're still just
What
a
the heck?
really broken game.
Yeah.
Um, Now don't get me wrong, there were bug fixes, but they never really fixed the actual bugs and just fixed like out of bounds glitches and stuff. But like when I'm talking bugs, I'm talking like just the game crashing for no reason. like the fact that like me and my tribe had a phrase for when the game just screws you over and ruins your stuff is kind of funny. We literally had a phrase for that.
Yeah.
And the fact that we had to say that like at least twice a week, or I'd say not probably not twice, but like maybe once a week,
Yeah.
is kind of upsetting, especially since like Arc players just dealt with it for years. Like we've had the game just sort of kill our stuff and just dealt with it. And now that they were talking a lot about like how Ascended was going to be, it was going to be a heavily improved version of Arc.
Mm.
I did not understand it. I did hear somewhere. Now I've only heard this from one source, so do not take this as fact. That they wanted to make the game like free to play. And I like that idea. I think the only thing that they really should have done to make Ark Survival Ascended completely fine, in my opinion, was give people that originally already had Ark Survival Ascended for free.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I think that they needed to do. Because like I'm only annoyed because the developers. So I'm assuming people out there already know that Ark Survival got rid of their legacy official servers. That's like servers hosted by Wildcard. They were like the bigger servers, and they removed them in general. I get it, a game has to die sometimes, but like that game had like 27,000 concurrent players when I
Yeah.
checked it, like when I was
Yeah.
writing the script, and I felt kind of like it felt kind of off that they took away everybody's stuff, and then we're like, "Don't worry, we won't give you your stuff back, but if you want to play your game, you can pay $40 for a not that much better version of it." Like that was a bit of a tangent there, but the art community is
Yeah.
something I take quite seriously, and it's a really nice one.
Yeah, it's definitely terrible that the game creators are taking advantage of just kind of the community's I guess patience to endure the current state of the game right now.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of
Cuz
feels like kind of how like Halo Infinite felt, like
yeah,
you're ruining the most
I'm ne-
patient fan base out there.
yeah, I'm never going back to Halo Infinite. They can suck it. They got their chance at the beginning of their life cycle, but it took them a whole year to fix it.
Yeah, I think that Ark Survival Ascended is kind of off. I'm as much as I want to get the game, currently I'm not. I have no reason to. Me and my friends still just play non-dedicated, which is fine. This is where I'm gonna bring up Arc modding. This is amazing. If you
Mm.
haven't, and if you still have Arc and are looking for some sort of way to enjoy it, try modding. We just slapped on a whole bunch of quality of life mods, Primal Fear, all of the big mods, and started playing around. It's actually some of the most fun I've had in that game in recent memory.
Yeah.
Very fun thing. And this is one thing where I think Arc 2 did one thing right. One thing. They're making it easily moddable, and I'm just hoping that the community can fix their game, because I genuinely think Arc 2 is going to be awful.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't have high
it's
hopes
another
in it
thing.
anyway. The thing that kept me away from Arc, to be honest, is obviously the gigabyte size, which, by the way, for me, it's like
Oh, yeah.
222 gigabytes. And then, as
I'm sorry
well
about that.
upon that, I it also whenever I play it, it's just too clunky. It's too awkward to honestly get
Mm.
fully into. Uh,
Now,
and
like,
that's definitely something you have to get used to. But I just don't want to spend 227 gigabytes to be just so that I have to get used to something.
that was the saddest thing for me. With my, I was playing on PS4 for years. I've still mainly played on that during my Arc stuff. I've got to have over 2,000 hours on PS4. I was able to have Arc, War Thunder, and Warframe. I could not download anything else because Arc itself took up like 300 gigabytes on console with all the
Yeah.
DLC mods. I don't understand how you messed up that bad. Like Cyberpunk 2077, a massive game at that time, was like I think it was like 100 at release or something. And Arc is like not that complicated of a game. like the main gameplay loop like never changes, and that's another thing to bring in is a lot of people are turned away from Ark because it does look like it would be one of those like really rough and gritty survival games that's tough, sort of like Stranded Deep. It's really not. That's something I really like about the game is it most definitely progresses with you if you go through the islands in the correct order. Like, you go from like, say like, when you tame your first like bigger dino, let's say like a Rex, you can go from taming that in the first like maybe like 10 to 20 hours to taming that in the first 45 minutes if you're quick enough.
Yeah.
Actually, 45 minutes maybe cutting it, maybe like an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, it's
But
always
like,
annoying in single player because I would host my own servers. I would just have like a whole team of dinosaurs, and then they would get killed because some turtle decided to walk up and eat them all.
oh,
Decided that the day that they chose violence that day, and it was so annoying. So then I tamed that turtle after it killed everyone. It killed my army of dodo birds. I can't believe it. My level 99 dodo birds. It was a sad day. A very sad day indeed. Dodo, listen, no matter what, I'm gonna always make a dodo army. No matter what. That's like the only thing that I actually have fun with. Either that or getting eaten by piranhas while I'm trying to tame one of those dolphin porpoise looking things. Hello?
my bad. You might want to cut that part out. My parents are now home.
What? No, I
Uh,
didn't hear anything.
yeah, yeah. I just you might want to cut that out. I just
No,
that's why
I
I
was
was
just
muted.
no, I was just talking about
I
my
definitely was
favorite
listening.
parts of Ark. My favorite parts of Ark is getting eaten by piranhas
By
while trying to tame the little dolphin looking thing.
piranhas are quite annoying.
I
I can't
know.
even. The funny thing is once you get used to that game and how the movement works and all, the scariest dinos become the least scariest animals. Like, I'll tell you this right now, anyone who's played for over like 100 hours finds the megalodons a complete joke. Like, they're not scary at all. But if you were to ask them what you are scared of, they would say the ants. There's ants that are 4 times scarier than any megalodon could ever want
Yeah,
to be.
don't they like put you to sleep, or is that those fly things? Those
That's the
things are annoying.
troodons.
Those things are
What your
annoying.
fly things are the megalania. Those actually existed, by the way. Just think of that.
Yeah.
Um, the megalania, they are quite annoying. But I'm more thinking the terminus soldiers. Those are the ants and the flying ants. Why do
Yeah.
they fly? I hate it. Uh, but like, trust me, the bigger the dinosaur, the less scary it is until you reach like gigas and wyverns.
Yeah. I think
Rexes become easy. Allosaurs aren't very scary
I
unless you
think
get hit.
I
Don't
think
get
my
hit by an
dad got to a high point of the game. I think only once, and I think that was to the point where he beat the what was it? The Titan, the giant Bronchiosaurus boss, raid boss thing. What is that thing called?
Mm,
What is that thing called?
you might want to go to Google for this. So you're thinking of the King Titan? I'd have to
No,
guess.
no, no, no. Survival, large,
I can't believe it. I can't think of any like.
boss.
Oh, the Titan. That's
Yeah,
what you're thinking.
yeah,
It's
yeah. The
literally just
Titan.
called the Titan. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The Titan. He
I
beat
I
that.
assumed you meant one of the world bosses. My bad.
Yeah, no, he beat
Trust
the.
me, guys. I'm most definitely a cultured
I
Ark
think it
player.
was
I
the
did not.
Titan. It was. Isn't that the giant Bronchiosaurus looking
Yes,
thing?
covered with rocks and stuff. You can actually
Yeah.
tame them.
Yeah,
Boy.
yeah. But it only lasts for like a day, I think.
Yep, it's a 24-hour, but trust me, that'll be your most productive 24 hours.
Why? What can
That's
you
the
do with it?
one thing. That's the one thing. Me and my tribe. I wish I pandered them more for this. I wanted to tame a Titan. It requires it to be shot in the head with a cannon until it gets knocked out, and it just really gets knocked out, and then you tame it.
Yeah, he tamed it,
It's
and he didn't do anything with it. He just let it die.
Well, like what it's really useful for is harvesting. And also if you're
Yeah.
on PvP, it's a destructive force to buildings. Well, before Titans, as in the extension world bosses were invented, which also last 24 hours, but they are much scarier and honestly easier to tame than a Titan. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like move back into like the opinions on Ark I have. Like
Yeah.
I think it's a really good game. I especially like how the gameplay loop works. So for anyone out there who doesn't know, Ark has several maps. They have story maps which are produced by Wildcard, and there is player maps, which are not produced by Wildcard. But what Wildcard will do is they will take their map, sometimes refine it a bit, and then put it out there, like put it out as a official map. In my opinion, that's like the best thing Ark has done in its like entire legacy
Yeah.
is player made maps. That is an amazing idea. But like if you play from the island, beat the island, move to like all the other story maps except for Scorched Earth. Scorched Earth is personal critique of mine. I do not like the map,
The
even
only
though it is
reason
a
I
pretty
like
good
is
map.
because I get the funny water camel.
Yeah, but you can get those on like every other maps
I
now.
know, but it's cool.
Um, But yeah, if you play them in order, it's actually a really nice gameplay loop. Because the thing is, the core gameplay doesn't change. I really like this when games do this. The core gameplay doesn't change, but how you utilize that gameplay does change. Like it'll throw like a little wrench in there. Like say with like Scorched Earth. Now the elements are trying to kill you. Nights are freezing cold. Basically, no armor can save you from that. And days are incredibly hot and require at least a ghillie suit.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Sec. No, good. But like, I think like I don't know, like Ark. Like I think Ark is like a really good game in and of itself. I'm sort of thinking of where to go from here. I kind of got
Yeah.
myself in a corner. But I guess we can go into the follow up of Ark. I think Ark 2. Now they've come out and say this and like said this. Ark 2 isn't an Ark game. It's not. It's gonna be something else. What it's gonna be, I have no clue. But they kind of threw out everything that made them different from Monster Hunter, and now they're just Monster Hunter. They got like Souls-like melee combat, some opposing PvE force. I genuinely can't believe that this is still a survival game. I don't believe it is. Like they're trying to make it sound like a survival game, but when you're looking at like the actual details, it looks like I'm going to play Elden Ring. And like,
Yeah, but a much worse version of it.
yes, a much worse version of it. I'll tell you right now, a Arc Elden Ring would be the most boring thing you'd ever play, especially if they keep the combat the same. Now, the thing I do think that that's a cool idea. I have actually kind of been like I like that idea. Like, say like you know, let's take this as in the form of Arc 1. You're starting on the island. You would start from the beach. You would get the strongest thing you can on the beach. You would, you know, get something stronger and stronger. And then you would go to a different area of the map, which is a lot more threatening. And with your group of the higher like tier things from the beach, you can now kill most of the things in there. But there's scary things you have to watch out for, so you have to, you know, tame up the things in there to be able to kill the things. I like that idea. A few games have done that. I actually not many games have done that. The only one I can really think of is Path of Titans.
Yeah.
Um, Wait, no, not Path of Titans. What am I thinking of? Oh, Shadow of the Colossus. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus and Pray for the Gods are the only two that I can actually think of that done that. But Pray for the Gods is just Shadow of the Colossus, so don't know what to do with that. That's the only kind of game that I think has kind of done something like that. Like a survival, but kind of more of like an action adventure survival. I like that idea. But the thing is they took all the arc out of it. Like the thing that made arc not rust.
Yeah.
So from reading it, they never mentioned dino combat ever. I don't even know if dinosaurs are in the game at this point. I'm a little confused on it. Because like the only time they ever mentioned dinosaurs in their description was their new AI. And maybe they're just expecting, since most people for Arc 2 have come from Arc 1, that they don't need to bring this up. But like, is there dino taming in this game? Like, I genuinely don't think there will be, because like they never bring it up. And I think that's just such a missed opportunity, because just having the ability to ride the dinos and fight with them was like the biggest thing Arc had going for it as like a media. Like if you take the dinosaurs out of Arc, it's just rust. It's just
Yeah.
rust.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and that's another thing that that's actually one thing Ark like fan base kind of gets me with. I never really hear this, but like Ark's not a creative game. It's really not. It's the most generic survival game you could possibly get with dinosaurs in it. But they never really used that in Ark 2, and I'm a little confused on it on why. Because like they had so much opportunity with that, especially since they want to take a more action adventure sort of approach, which is an awful idea. No action adventure game lasts for over a year. Like, come on, how quickly did Horizon Forbidden West just die?
Trash game, trash game.
I guess like God of War Ragnarok lasted a few months, but that's like, the biggest name in PlayStation gaming.
That's a good game, pretty good game, pretty good game.
Spider-Man lasted like what, a year before the hype started to die down?
Spider-Man 1's a really good game. Spider-Man 2 is a pretty good game.
That's another thing to bring up is like Ark was pretty young. Like for games like that, I think like, like not really an MMO style, but like, the kind of idea of it, I think sort of like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. That game died young. It's like after its full release, I think it's like full release was I think 26 or like 17, 18. So it's only like 6, maybe 7 years old. I think can't even like speak full English sentences yet, and
Yeah.
it's dying off. Like that kind of confused me because like games like that normally last years, like years of years. And I get they're trying. What they're trying to do here is make a little bit more money because they have admitted that they're broke. They have like no money for Arc 2 right now. Mostly because Snail Games took all their money and put it into an electric vehicle company that they were very behind closed doors with until someone found out about it, and that's where several billion of Arc's dollars went.
That legitimately, bro. $1 billion in just putting into stocks,
I think it was several billions of some sort. Maybe it was millions, but it was a lot of money in general that
bro.
came from Wildcard and that went into their electric vehicle company
Nah,
that died
I don't think that
horribly.
Snail Games should have control over their entire finances. That is the
They can't
dumbest thing.
even. Yeah, I don't know. Like
That legitimately is nearly illegal. That how is
they're
that
dumb.
legal?
Well, because they're the parent company, they do probably
Well,
split
yeah,
profits.
being the parent company doesn't mean you get to spend the entirety of your sister company's of your child company's price, like everything about them.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little concerning. That's another thing where don't take that as fact. That's another more of like a theory idea, but a lot of things line up, especially with like dates. Arc started very, very obviously running out of money around the time that that company was also starting to run out of money. Um, and the thing is, like, I would totally be in on Arc Survival Ascended being a funding for Arc 2. But I know it's just gonna end up going back into Snail Games somehow. And the thing is, there's no real way out of it because of legal obligation, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole that I do not feel like going down right now. But in general, like, Arc has a lot of financial issues right now. And I do get wanting some money going into Arc too. But the thing is you're kind of screwing your fan base with that, especially like up here that's $60. Down here or down for you guys that's 40. I'm in
So,
Canada by the way.
so
Um
why did Ark sell themselves, or why did Wildcard sell themselves to Snail Games?
that's something I'm not quite sure about actually. I would have to assume like Arc was like borderline between indie developer and double A developer when they were going into Arc. They had funding, but they didn't have a lot of people. But I think Snail Games bought them before Arc, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Or they funded a lot of it. I know they had a lot of funding going into Arc, but they think they're still the developer team is only like I think like definitely don't take this anyone out here don't take this as fact, but I want to say their main developer team is like 20, 25. I don't even actually hold on. I'm gonna look this up right now. Sorry guys, quick pause. Oh, wild card. Oh, that's not very That's not a very considered answer. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe I can find something on their Wikipedia page. Oh hey, I can even probably find out when Snail Games bought them out.
And when did they?
Uh, I don't know, but I don't feel like reading through a Wikipedia article. Oh.
Snail Games bought them December 2015. What a piece of crap. Honestly, Snail Games should honestly be completely ridden of. Like, I don't get how I don't get how they're just the absolute worst at managing games. It's like I feel like even if you had like the littlest bit of experience, you should at least still be able to know that more, patching bugs and stuff like that, or fixing things is the easiest way to make the game better, but then they just don't. They just don't because they're wasting their money putting it into Tesla or some dumb crap.
Okay, okay, sorry. My parents just had to tell me something again. You can cut that out too if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, here, I can probably find something in here. I have no idea how many people they have, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, it's a very small team for, like, such a big game that it has. And when they were releasing their betas for that game, I think they were, like, a very small AA studio, if I'm correct. Like, they weren't a big studio. I have no idea why they were bought out by Snail Games. Maybe if someone knows a bit more for the comments section, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Um, so that's neat. Uh, yeah, I don't know. My stance on Arc 2 right now is like I'm gonna get it because like I see a lot of potential with it, most specifically in the modding, but I don't think that potential is gonna be realized, whether it be from lack of budget or the fact that the game might just not be released. Like that's an actual consideration. Like
There
they might
is
just go
I
bankrupt.
do think another issue with their funding is that they really want to cast my man Vin Diesel
Okay,
into the
Vin
marketing.
Diesel was like the weirdest choice for me because like I really hope it's like this. So they do still have a PvP system, I think. I really hope that every character is forced to be Vin Diesel, and now I have to watch 15 Vin Diesels fighting each other in a tribe fight. That would be hilarious. But the casting of Vin Diesel doesn't make any sense. Number one, the fact that there was a cast to start with just tells me right away that it's an action adventure game. It's not a survival game. Because what survival game has like voice acting other than like The Forest? Like you should not need a voice actor, let alone several,
I
for a
mean,
especially Ark survival game.
there's very, 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 very slight voice acting in 7 Days to Die, and that's mostly breathing.
Yeah, I say like Ark 2 has like grunts and groans, but it's damn Minecraft at that point. Um, so that's just another thing is like I don't understand the point of casting Vin Diesel. I actually doubt that they paid too much to cast him because like I'm sorry Vin Diesel, but like you're kind of running out of time here. Like you're
Mm.
not like the big figurehead you used to be ever since Fast and Furious sort of died out.
Yeah.
Uh, you seem pretty cool, but like after Fast and Furious, I think you're kind of running out.
Yeah.
Random side topic, but why did they change Fast and Furious to Fast? That is a awful
They
name change.
they should have redone it to a fast 10 your seatbelts for the 10th
That's
movie. But they didn't.
that's weird.
They didn't follow the internet's advice, all right?
But yeah, the casting of Vin Diesel, I really really hope that all of them like it's just a whole bunch of people running around as Vin Diesel because that's just funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Anyway,
Not even gonna lie.
we're about to reach the 40-minute mark.
Okay, okay. I know you don't really like your longer videos, so I'll start to
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah, well. Yeah, thanks for joining
No, no, no. Give me a bit here. Give me a bit here. I got a little
Okay,
more to say.
you got the floor.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna get Arc 2. I'm most assuredly gonna get it because if my favorite game's gonna die, I might as well be there for it. I will most likely be putting out something about the game for online. I'm looking into Ascended. Me and my friend are debating. I don't think we're gonna get it though because currently Arc 1 just offers more. Uh, People out there, in my personal recommendation, do not get Ark Survival Ascended. Just get Ark 1 and download some mods. I'd only do this under one condition, though, which is that you have some friends to play it with. Because there is nothing more funny than being chased by several wyverns with your friends, and all of y'all are screaming your asses off because you don't want to die. You don't want to get spear roasted by a giant flying wyvern because you touched the wrong thing. It's a really fun game. I got to admit, if anyone's interested in Arc 1, specifically Arc 1, catch it on sale, but do get it. Maybe don't worry about any of the DLCs right now, especially like if you're first getting into it. If it's your first time, just work with the island. And all the story maps are amazing. Or not story maps, sorry. Player mid maps are amazing. Like they're actually really fun, especially stuff like Crystal Isles, Valguero, and stuff of that sort. But yeah, I think that really states everything that I wanted to say. So I know I've been rambling a lot here, but it's a game I'm very passionate about, and we'll be putting out a very lengthy video about it pretty soon. I have no idea how I'm gonna do that, but I will be. Not very soon, but give me a month, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yep. Thanks for coming on.
Yep. See you, everybody.
Yep. See y'all. Have a good day.